Good evening, friends, and welcome to another very interesting session with Desh Kapoor. And welcome, Desh. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Jadid. Always great to be here.
Yeah. So, friends, in today's session, we'll be discussing about a very big move against Rahul Gandhi, and also Trump Jr.'s surprising Indian visit, and a lot more. Before that, friends, we would like to discuss the unfortunate incident which took place, and the Tejas, jet, the fighter jet crash in Dubai, and it is very, very sad, especially since Wing Commander Namaj Sayal, it looked like he attempted to eject at the last moment, but this is according to reports. We don't know what exactly went. And also the fact that there's a lot of investigation which is going on with regards to this, unfortunate crash of the Tejas. So some questions, people have in their mind. Is it a sudden structural failure? Is it an engine flame out? Or a control system malfunction may prevent the pilot from, initiating or completing the ejection sequence? Or did the plane go through a air pocket? So we really don't know what went wrong, Deshji, in this unfortunate accident. What do you make of this?
Right. I think so. It was very unfortunate that somebody like Wing Commander Namaj Sayal, like we had to lose someone like him. Such a experienced Air Force pilot. So Air Force has ordered a court of inquiry, and in the Indian and the Emirati authorities are also investigating. The initial reports and the videos, the experts are saying, they suggest that the aircraft actually lost the stability during the negative G maneuver, which was done. The roll was done at a very low altitude, and it impacted the ground almost immediately. So, like, I know that there have been reports, and especially the Pakistani social media sites, about the oil leak and all those things, but that is more of propaganda. And I think Pakistanis, it's sad how they behave. They have started doing a lot of reactions which are more like taunting the Indian Air Force, India, and all those things. See, these things can happen to anyone at any time, and the Tejas is has gone through multiple sorties and multiple tests and all those things. This was just one of those flights when things went wrong. In this case, in such cases, although the modern day aircraft have the 00 seats, which theoretically means that the safe ejection can happen from zero altitude, zero airspeed, but that is in a very narrow kind of idealized frame of reference. So the time to ground, it seems, is extremely critical at low altitude, when they're doing a high energy maneuver. The time that the pilots have is less than 1 to 2 seconds between when they lose control and when the impact happens, and that may not be enough for recognizing that the recovery is now impossible and I have to eject out of this. And then pulling the handle and the seat firing and clearing the aircraft and the parachute deployment. So that the situation where the aircraft is, that is extremely important in this situation, because if it is rapidly rolling or inverted or already coming down nose down, then the ejection time envelope that they have even shrinks further. So depending on where they are, where the aircraft is, what they are doing, how far they are from the ground, all those things impact whether the pilot can eject or not. So also, in the high negative G, like that, this, people say that this aircraft was in, some kind of abrupt motion that it has, that can disorient a pilot also. Like the pilot can also become incapacitated at times. So multiple things are possible that could have happened. There is, like, I won't rule out sabotage like at all, because after all, this was in Dubai. The the impact of what Pakistan can do and Pakistani actors can do in Dubai is far more than it would happen in India. So they are different. Like, it's just sad that how, like, it has come about, right? Like, it should not have happened like this, but that is how it is right now.
Yeah, because we can't rule out the sabotage angle, if any.
Correct. I agree. Because, the way the Pakistani handles on social media have been, tweeting or like posting on X about, and the way and their like mindset is, it almost shows as if, like, one, they're ecstatic, like, which is very sad. That's how they behave. And second is almost like as if they knew that this was going to happen. So I won't rule out the sabotage. Like, it's just that Indian authorities should have known better. So going to Dubai is like never, in your own backyard. So you should have taken more care about things. And if something has gone wrong, and if somebody actually did the sabotage, then I think it should be brought out, and that person should be brought to justice right away.
Yeah, so don't you think it affects HAL? Because if some of the countries were showing interest to buy the Tejas aircraft, now do you think that will have an impact?
That may have an impact, but I think the number of test flights and all those things, the data that HAL, especially Tejas, has is quite big. So I think like, we need to take care that the narrative is set properly. See, like, one of the problems is that even during the Operation Sindoor, we lost a narrative on Rafale. We should not have, because like, it was from all the experts that have actually looked at even Operation Sindoor, everybody, the real main experts, not who were, and objective ones, not ones who were related to or linked to Pakistan or China, they were like very clear that India actually deployed the decoys with their Rafale, and which had the signature of Rafale. So when their missiles came, they destroyed the decoys rather than the Rafale itself. So we should have at least brought it out. But the experts have talked about it like extensively. So the thing is, we somehow lose the narrative war. That narrative war should never be lost, and especially in this case.
Yeah, also, in the Tejas aircraft, you have the G engine, which is fitted with 40-year-old technology.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think, like, they will have to like, go ahead and do all the investigations. Like, it is like very likely that at that altitude at which it was and the kind of maneuver it was doing, something went off in terms of the aircraft's balance itself. And the pilot was, Wing Commander Sial was not able to eject in, like, within the time that he had to. Like, he only had probably less than 1 second where he had to make that decision, get out, then pull the lever, get out, and be safe. That is not always possible, and especially when it comes to situations like these kind of shows where your aircraft can actually do a lot more damage. So, so I think that's been the situation. So yes, the investigation needs to happen in every aspect of the aircraft as well as the the sabotage angle that could have gone behind the scenes.
Yeah. So, Desh ji, coming to the next point is with regards to Rahul Gandhi and apparently an open letter written by 272 eminent personalities, including retired judges, bureaucrats, and armed officers. They have lashed out at Rahul Gandhi for his repeated vote theft claims, saying that Indian democracy was witnessing a rising tide of venomous rhetoric directed towards its foundational institutions. So, the letter addressed to Rahul Gandhi and the Congress said that some political leaders were resorting to provocative and unsubstantiated accusations instead of offering a genuine policy alternative. So, especially after how badly, they lost the Bihar election. So, I mean, many of the dot dot alliance members as well, they are losing faith in Rahul Gandhi, not only the Congress.
Right, and like this has become a recurring, narrative that Congress has, and like this has been going on for quite a long time, and like they think they can actually push it. I am of the firm belief that Rahul Gandhi should be treated exactly the same way as Donald Trump and Brazil's Prime Minister or President Bolsonaro was done, was treated. Because when Trump lost the 2020 elections and he alleged that there was fraud, at that time, the American media, the academia, the courts, and the political elites called that as a democratic backsliding, right? As delegitimizing the institutions or attempting a coup. And like even after, even before the Jan 6, insurrection happened, their opinion was very clear that questioning the results is equal to undermining the democracy. In Brazil also, Bolsonaro was actually, he said that there was, a fraud in the elections. At that time, he was told that there is, by questioning the results, there is erosion of democratic trust, and it's a dangerous delegitimization of the election institutions. And in any country, if the elections have to be conducted properly, you cannot start doubting and cannot start pointing fingers at the institutions which actually do that without having any reason for that. Because there is no reason. I mean, the same EVMs, the same stuff has been used by, in the other elections, and that has been, just fine. So how is it that in this election, it suddenly becomes an issue? Right? Like it doesn't make any sense. And I'm of the firm belief that just as Bolsonaro was actually barred and banned from fighting any more elections for 8 years, exactly the same kind of action should be taken against Rahul Gandhi. Because he needs to be taught a lesson that he cannot just simply, this is not a game going on. This is not a joke. They think this is a joke, and they can just go around and delegitimize any institution they want, with whether it is election commission or prime minister or president or whoever they want, and they'll go scot free. They should not be allowed to go there. The media in India is complicit. The media in the world is complicit in this. Because they have one standard for Bolsonaro and Trump, and they have another standard for Rahul Gandhi, right? Because they are not using the same standard they use for Bolsonaro and Trump on Rahul Gandhi now. they think that actually, like, there should be like some questioning of the institution. Why? Election Commission is by far the most fairest, most efficient election running institution in the world, in the history of humanity. No election is bigger than the Indian election, and yet it is conducted in such a smooth manner. So, so I think it is just sad that we are just taking this whole thing lying down, and we should not.
Yeah.
So
Also, yeah.
yeah, so I'm like very disturbed by this whole thing, and how we are even allowing this to go on, to cast doubt on elections, and we're talking about vote theft and all those things. Like, this is just not done.
Yeah. Also, let's not forget the judicial system in India. You can get bail so easily, especially if you're a powerful person. You can hire the best lawyers and then look at the loopholes in the law and get away with it.
Right. See, one more thing I would like to say. They talk about this whole the SIR like stuff, and oh my God, what is happening in Bihar and Bengal, the special intensive revision, that process is going on. People have to realize that this is a constitution, or at least like established in law, because it is done as per the section 21(3) of the Representation of the People Act, created in 1950. 1950. It is as old as India's constitution, and the SIR process has been conducted by the Election Commission for like since then. 1952, 56, 57, 61, 61, 65, 66, 1983, 84, 87, 89, 1992, 93, 95, 2002, 2003. And they were all Congress governments at that time. Then it was just fine. Now it becomes a big problem. Why? Right? And the last SIR in Bihar, happened in 2003. In Bengal, it happened in 2002. So it's not the first time that it's happening, right? It's been over 20 years since a voter list has even been looked at. There are duplicates. There are people who have died. There have been people who have moved out. There are Bangladeshi, and the Rohingya people who have been brought in and given Aadhaar card. They have bogus names. So they have to be cleaned out, because in an election, only Indian citizens should be like voting, not people who are dead, not people who are duplicates, not people from outside this that country, right? So I think it's like people should know like what's going on. They keep changing the narrative, and nobody is out there to even talk about what the real thing is. Because even like if you go on Wikipedia and you actually go and look for SIR, they do not mention the history. They only mention what is happening now. It's a narrative, right? It's very sad what is going on.
Yeah, so like that's why Mamata Banerjee is panicking. You have MK Stalin panicking because of the SIR implementation. So, but going ahead in the next year, especially the West Bengal election, how do you see BJP's strategy to win West Bengal? Is it going to be difficult?
Yeah, I think there would be a lot of like pushback from BJP, because I think a lot has happened. They now have come to a point, the low point, where they are actually like all these deaths of the BLOs, or the legal officers, or whatever their like name is that they call, right? The the block officers that are who actually do the SIR process. Now these people are like, it seems, are being like they say they are suicides, and they all of them actually write their suicide note also very nicely in clean language. And they all say that, oh, I didn't have, I was so pushed, and there was like so much of tension for me, so much of stress, and so why don't they have the police with them all the time? That is something that the local government should be doing, that EC can't do all the time. So it is very strange that all these things are happening, because I don't like, in my view, the way I see West Bengal and the way the West Bengal government has been behaving, I don't think it's beyond them to be actually orchestrating all these things themselves, because so many people can't be. I mean, like I told you, SIR has been happening since 1950s, and suddenly the BLO start, committing suicide. Really? So I think the pushback needs to happen, and Mamata Banerjee and their goons that they are there, who have always targeted the people who have not voted for TMC, need to be taken head on. There is no other way out. There is just no other way out. And if they think they can run Bengal like a fiefdom, then somebody needs to give them a reality check. Because Bengal is part of India. They are not another country. They are not Bangladesh. They cannot become Bangladesh. So it's good that all the Bangladeshis are going back. All the illegal ones are going back, and proper, just and fair election will be held, and all the goons of Mamata Banerjee that should be taken care of. Like, there should be very, very strict law enforcement there. If that happens, if just that happens, that alone will take care of the BJP's win, because people are sick and tired of TMC. Are really sick and tired of TMC, but they have no other way to go because they're all afraid. The same kind of template was followed even in the communist times, because they just framed it as democracy. There was no democracy at that time. There is no democracy in any communist regime or ideological regime, which this Mamata Banerjee is, because it's basically an Islamic regime that's going on. You can't celebrate a Durga Puja. You can't go out and sing a national song or even sing a bhajan properly, because you are always targeted. So the same thing which is going on in Bangladesh of Muhammad Yunus is going on in Bengal of Mamata Banerjee. So people are sick and tired. It's just that they need that backing to take her on.
Yeah. Meanwhile, as we speak, Donald Trump Jr. was seen in a surprise visit to India. What was the occasion? Was that he attended the wedding of U.S. Farmer King Ramaraju Mantena. It was his daughter's wedding in Udaipur, and there were a lot of Hollywood and Bollywood celebrities in this event. And apparently he's Ramaraju Mantena is a very dominant figure in the US pharmaceutical sector. He is a chairman and CEO of Ingenious Pharmaceuticals, a company with operations and R&D centers spanning the US, Switzerland, and India. So, did you see this some snaps of this event, Deshi?
Yeah, yeah, I have. So it's quite I would say such things are quite decadent, right? The people are just whether it's Mukesh Ambani or other such entrepreneurs or elites, they just try to see how they can spend more money, make these weddings more lavish and all those things. So Vamsi Gaddi Raju is the tech entrepreneur who's a groom, and Ramaraju Mantena is the father of the daughter, Netra Mantena. And the venue was actually in Udaipur. So it was a destination, wedding, and so from international, celebrities, Jennifer Lopez came. Justin Bieber was to come. I don't know whether he came or not. Donald Trump Jr. was there. From Bollywood, Hrithik Roshan, Ranveer Singh, Shahid Kapoor, Madhuri Dixit, Kriti Sanon, and Jacqueline Fernandez were there. So people are asking, so what was Donald Trump Jr. doing there? So so obviously, I mean, all these guys have their own, close contacts, especially because he has his business profile in the US with the pharmaceuticals. He would like to ensure that um, he does maintain close ties like with the Trumps, so that like they're, he can always like work for the right kind of situation when it comes to the tariffs and all those things. So, he will work with that. And Donald Trump Jr. Like went there, went to Taj Mahal and Vantara, the Reliance Foundation, center in Jamnagar. And they are saying he may also meet Gautam Adani, which I think will be good for Adani as well, because like he would also like to like work with the Trumps to actually make inroads into the US much better. So there is no confirmation of a government to government kind of a thing or party to party, the kind of contacts or this thing, but I'm sure that there must be something going on behind the scenes where there would have been discussions. And it's important because, see, like ultimately, whatever they are trying to make in Pakistan, with the Pakistani Crypto Council and all those things, they can make far more money in India if they go with the legal route with some kind of backing. So it's important to work with Trump to actually take care of a lot of things in the international trade area. So maybe that is the reason like why, because India is working now closely with the US on at least behind the scenes. That is why there was this deal for the weapons like Javelin and all those things. So India has not given up on the US, and US has not given up on India. They have tried their tactics to get the right kind of trade deal. I almost suspect that India and US will have a trade deal very, very soon. And that is why this whole, even the oil purchases from Russia has gone down so much to create the right kind of atmosphere. And later on, they always keep looking at these things in different ways. So I would say that like it is these kind of weddings, though very often they are very decadent in like various ways, but they offer a platform where these celebrities, especially the politicians, can come to India, and somebody in the Indian government can actually start a contact or create some contact. So I would say I think it's a good opportunity for people in the government and bureaucracy to start working with the Trump Jr. They may already have been doing it. This may just be an extension of that.
Yeah, also, now Trump is taking several U-turns. He knows that the inflation in the US is at an all-time record high, and now he might, roll back all the tariffs, the reciprocal tariffs, and all those H-1B visa in due course of time, isn't it? Do you see that happening?
Yeah, his base is not very happy. But the thing is, like, it's true that the American economy is being hurt very, very badly by all these things. And like he needs to take the right measures. So tariff is a big, big issue because of which the American economy is actually going down. So I think there will be like some kind of deals happening in the coming future by Trump. He has already turned around on H-1B. He almost had a fight on Fox because of that. and his MAGA group is not very happy. But then he knows how to deal with them, so he'll take care of them. And on the other hand, he met Zoran Mamdani also in the Oval Office, and he said that, like I will like to live in New York with Zoran Mamdani as the mayor. So he's trying to create some kind of a rapprochement with Mamdani as well, which is not going down very well with the MAGA group. So I think he is going on his own trip, which may help the world going forward. So
Yeah, so he also said that he's going to release the Epstein files.
right. Epstein files will be released anyway. So there, he might be named there, and like also many other people. But I think he'll still keep going on with his work. And I don't know whether that will affect him now, at all or not, because it is, Epstein thing is such such a big issue worldwide that it's not not easy to actually always do justice, because almost every elite person, every elite power is involved with that. It's more than just human trafficking or child trafficking. It's actually to do with intelligence operations and all those things as well, and elites doing whatever they did. So it may not, despite the fact that they are saying that they'll release the Epstein files, it may not be that easy even now.
Yeah. So, Deshi, coming to the last point, and as you know that the Al-Falah University founder Jawed Siddiqui, he is under ED custody, and according to certain reports, the authorities in Madhya Pradesh has issued a demolition notice for his ancestral home, and because of all these terror and financial irregularities, according to them. So, this is a very disturbing, finding, because this is one such university. You may have many other universities in India, doing the same thing. Who knows?
Right. See, the thing is that, one of the things that I find very disturbing is that he was actually living within the cantonment. I have been to Mau, and I know that area. And his it seems his building, his home was known as Maulana's building. It had an illegal basement, and it had 4 unauthorized additional floors. So they violated the cantonment and the building regulations very clearly. The notice was given to the family for 3 days to vacate, and after which the demolition will happen. It seems that on the 22nd, Madhya Pradesh High Court granted a 15-day interim stay on the demolition. But this is a way for, because of what the judiciary does, how judiciary actually sides with the criminals, gives them all the benefits, all the approvals at times to go scot-free, to get bail and all those things. They keep bailing them out. So the government has to find a way to take care of such such players and such actors. And I think the demolition of their homes or their places, if they have an illegality, is a very good way to actually send a message and put them in their place. So I know that the high courts are still trying to intervene, but it's just It's terrifying that a university which is totally involved. There's so many of their students have been involved in this terror case, where they were planning to kill so many people. The head of that was living in a cantonment area. What all could he have done? One can't even imagine. So there is there is an illegality that they're using, but that seems to be the only way forward. Given how long and protracted the legal process is, one, and second, how they keep on bailing all these people out. It's become very, very tough for the Indian state and the Indian citizens to actually fight such terrorism. They don't. The Indian judiciary just doesn't allow justice to happen these days. So it's become a big problem. So I think Indian state, especially the executive branch and Indian citizens, need to find another way which may actually go above and beyond what the judiciary can actually stop. Because this way, the Indian state cannot run. Indian society cannot run because of how delayed the justice is. I mean, imagine there are 5 crore cases pending in the courts. If you take a real, estimation, if you take out the bottom, really poor people below the poverty line, and then the number of families that you are left with is around 25 to 27 crore. So basically, every fifth family, every fifth household in the country actually has a pending court case, and we know that it will go on for generations. And if the only way to get out of that court case is that you negotiate and you do a compromise, which compromise means injustice, because it is not the full justice. So you accept injustice in the form of compromise because the courts are not ready to do their work. Because I'm being very conservative when I say 1 in 5, because in every case, at least more than one family or household is involved. So I would say that every from 20 to 40% of the Indian households have a pending court case, going on right now. So somewhere people will start asking the question that, so what is in it for me? What am I getting out of the Indian judiciary? What is Indian judiciary doing for the Indian citizen? I think this is a very valid question now. If 20 to 40% of Indian citizens or Indian households are facing injustice, and only few are getting justice, or at least few are getting access to the justice or to the courts, then what use is such a judiciary when it really cannot do much? So there is a strong case for the Indian establishment also to look for ways to do justice, and that is exactly what is happening now.
Yeah. So Desh, that was a wonderful session, and we will see you again next week.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, and Jai Hind and Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Hind, Jai Shri Ram. Thank you.